"She's not dead!" the garbage collector screamed during the billionaire's funeral, and everything stopped. Like and subscribe to Inspiration Stories box for shocking, emotional stories. The cemetery was wrapped in silence, broken only by soft sobs and the rustle of black coats. The casket of billionaire Eleanor Whitmore rested at the center, surrounded by powerful men, distant relatives, and lawyers who looked more interested in watches than grief. Eleanor had been declared dead after a sudden collapse in her mansion. No autopsy, no questions, just speed. As the priest raised his hands to begin the final prayer, a voice cut through the air like a blade. "Stop!" Heads turned. A garbage collector stood at the edge of the crowd, uniform stained, breathless, eyes wild with fear. "She's not dead!" Gasps rippled. Security rushed forward. "Get him out of here!" someone hissed. The man fell to his knees. "Please, I saw her last night. She was breathing." Laughter of disbelief followed. "You expect us to believe a garbage man over doctors?" the executor snapped. The collector's hands trembled. "I work the back roads near her estate. I saw a woman thrown out like trash. She was drugged, barely alive." The billionaire's son scoffed. "This is madness." The priest hesitated. Something in the man's voice wasn't greed, it was terror. "What's your name?" the priest asked. "Thomas Reed," he whispered. "My wife died because no one listened to a poor man once. I won't let it happen again." The crowd murmured. The executor ordered the coffin lowered anyway. Thomas lunged forward. "She has a birthmark behind her ear shaped like a star. Check." Silence fell. The sun froze. Only family knew that detail. Panic spread like fire. "Open the casket," the priest said firmly. The son protested, but pressure mounted. With shaking hands, the lid was opened. Eleanor lay still, pale. Then her fingers twitched. A scream echoed. "She's alive!" Chaos erupted. An ambulance was called as Thomas collapsed, tears streaming. "I told you," he whispered. "She's not dead." Like and subscribe to Inspiration Stories box before Chapter 2. What happens next will shock you. Eleanor was rushed to the hospital, where doctors confirmed the unthinkable. She had been poisoned with a rare paralytic drug that slowed her heartbeat to near death. Someone wanted her buried alive. Investigators moved fast. Evidence led straight to her trusted advisor and her own son, who stood to inherit billions. The truth shattered the empire built on greed. Weeks later, Eleanor awoke fully. Her first question wasn't about money. "Where's the man who saved me?" Thomas was brought in wearing the same faded uniform. He couldn't meet her eyes. "I just did what was right," he said. Eleanor reached for his hand. "You did what my world failed to do. You saw me as human." Tears filled the room. She later held a press conference, exposing the attempted murder and rewriting her will. But the biggest surprise came when she announced her foundation, the Whitmore Humanity Project, she declared, run by the man who saved my life. Gasps filled the hall as Thomas stood beside her, stunned. He tried to refuse. "I don't belong here." Eleanor gently smiled. "You belong wherever truth lives." Months passed. The foundation funded shelters, medical aid, and workers forgotten by society. At its opening ceremony, Eleanor placed a badge on Thomas's chest, not of power, but purpose. "Never underestimate the quiet voices," she said. At the cemetery months later, Eleanor stood alone before an empty grave. She placed a flower and whispered, "I was buried once, and reborn by kindness." Across town, Thomas returned to work one morning, but something had changed. People smiled at him, listened, respected him, because the man everyone ignored had stopped a funeral and saved a life. And the world finally learned that sometimes the truth arrives wearing the uniform no one looks at twice. Like and subscribe to Inspiration Stories Box for more powerful emotional stories that change hearts.